When you sit down to upgrade your 3D printing workflow, the first question that pops into your head is usually something like, will this scanner actually make my life easier? Or am I just adding another piece of tech that I'll struggle to get rid of? The market is full of devices that brag about 0.01mm accuracy or 60 frames per second scanning speeds, but what you really need is a tool that shows up in the studio, works reliably day after day, and actually saves you time and money. If you've ever tried to capture a complex object with a cheap handheld scanner, you know the frustration of wobble, missed details, or the need to spray the object just to get a decent mesh. Those are exactly the pain points the Creality CR-Scan Raptor Pro promises to solve. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Raptor Pro lands in a niche that's been historically tricky: high-speed, high-precision scanning for both hobbyists and small business creators who need true color data without the hassle of messy sprays. When you look at the specs: 22+7 nm dual-laser, 0.02mm accuracy, 60 fps, it's easy to get lost in numbers. But what matters in everyday use is how those specs translate into workflow. The biggest claim the Raptor makes is no-spray scanning for challenging materials. In practice, that means you can scan glossy ceramics, polished metal, or even semi-transparent items like resin figurines without coating them in a matte powder. For a maker who frequently alternates between prototypes, reverse-engineered parts, and artistic models, that flexibility can be a real time saver. Let's walk through a typical day in the life of someone who would benefit from this scanner. Imagine you're running a small boutique that produces custom tabletop miniatures. You've just finished a hand-carved prototype that you want to duplicate for a batch order. With a traditional handheld scanner, you'd need to set up a spray booth or apply a temporary matte coating, wait for it to dry, and then spend minutes trying to capture the fine details without introducing artifacts. The Raptor Pro's dual-laser system, combined with its anti-shake handheld rig, lets you simply point the device at the model, spin around it, and let the 60 frames per second engine do the work. The true color capture records the exact shade of the paint, which is crucial when the final print needs to match the original's aesthetic. After a few passes, the software stitches the data into a clean mesh in under a minute, ready for direct slicing. That workflow eliminates the spray step, reduces material waste, and cuts post-processing time dramatically. Now, who should consider buying the Raptor Pro? The sweet spot is small to medium creators who need both speed and color fidelity, and who already have a baseline 3D printer setup. If you regularly produce objects larger than 0.2 centimeters but smaller than 157 cm, think anything from jewelry to automotive components, you'll find the scanning range generous. The built-in anti-shake technology and lightweight body make it comfortable for extended handheld sessions, which is handy if you're scanning a sculpture that requires you to move around 360 degrees. Additionally, the device ships with Creality's professional software that integrates directly into popular slicers, meaning you won't have to learn a brand new workflow just to get the scans into your printer. On the flip side, the Raptor Pro isn't the best match for a few specific user groups. If you are a hobbyist who only needs occasional scans of simple objects, the price point may feel steep compared with more budget-oriented scanners that still deliver acceptable quality for basic parts. Also, the scanner's reliance on a fairly sophisticated software suite can be a hurdle for those who prefer plug-and-play solutions. There's a learning curve involved, even if the UI is polished. Finally, the device isn't designed for ultra-large industrial parts that exceed its 1.57-meter volume limit, so companies needing to scan full car panels or large architectural elements will quickly outgrow it. Talking about practical strengths, the first thing I noticed is the speed. 60 frames per second isn't just a marketing number, it translates into a truly fluid scanning experience. When you're moving the scanner around an object, you don't have to stop and recalibrate every few seconds. The system keeps up, capturing each nuance in real time. That responsiveness reduces the chance of missing small features, especially on objects with intricate geometry like a gear set or a detailed figurine. The true color capture is another standout. Many scanners either ignore color or require an extra pass to add texture later. With the Raptor Pro, the color data is baked in from the outset, meaning you can feed the mesh directly into a full-color printer without worrying about texture mapping errors. The anti-shake handheld module is also more than a comfort feature, it actively compensates for minor hand tremors, which is especially helpful if you're scanning while standing on a workshop floor that isn't perfectly level. Users who have tried other handheld scanners often report jitter in the final mesh, forcing them to smooth out the surface in post-processing. The Raptor's stabilization reduces that jitter, delivering cleaner geometry straight out of the capture. In environments where lighting changes quickly like a